So embargoes got lifted yesterday. Everybody was talking about Anthem's in-game, and I saw some concerns, and rightfully so. On paper, the in-game for Anthem does not look that promising. Skillup even tweeted out that Anthem's in-game consists of 3 strongholds, which are like Destiny strikes but bigger, repeatable missions, 1 per day, and roaming the open world. No raids. This is now confirmed as of today's embargo lift, which of course was yesterday. On paper, yeah, Anthem's in-game does not look that promising. We went to the EA Capture event last week, and we got to play those strongholds. Now, in terms of length, Skillup is right. It is essentially like Destiny Strikes, but bigger, and depending on the difficulty that you choose, it could be the difference between you finishing that activity within 30-35 minutes, or you spending the next 2-3 hours doing that activity. The amount of difficulty that starts to scale at the end game is insane. It was so bad that me and my entire squad had to give up halfway through one of the strongholds because we were getting spawn killed. Like, we were essentially dying, wiping, respawning, and then those Dominion began to scale the mountain and kill us over and over again. So of course, as you become better, stronger, get better gear, have better synergy with your teammates, defeating these strongholds, of course, will get easier. But as you know, you've got Grandmaster, and then I think something like Grandmaster 2, Grandmaster 3. Considering how much difficulty Grandmaster 1 gave me and my squad, I can only imagine how difficult Grandmaster 3 is going to be. But despite that, you still got to ask yourself, how much fun is it going to be running through the same thing over and over again? Now, BioWare's answer to that is by also giving us contracts, various missions that we could pick up from faction leaders at Fort Tarsus that can also reward very high level gear. And then of course you have free play, which we still don't know completely how much the world will be changing in free play. BioWare has claimed that there will be always something different in the open world, whether it's weather, monsters, whatever we may run up against, something is going to be different than the last time we were there. That's kind of an open-ended, ambiguous statement, right? What we do know for sure is that at launch, yes, those 3 strongholds is what is slated for in-game content, at least at launch. Now, let's back up here real quick. When you remember all the way back when Destiny 2 first launched, our content consisted of 3 different things. You had basic story missions, you had open world activities, which includes things like public events and lost sectors, very similar to the dungeons and world events that's present in Anthem. And then we had a handful of strikes, which is what we're seeing here from these strongholds. Now, if you remember, with all of our Destiny expansions, as well as when the games dropped themselves, the raid normally launched about 2 to 3 weeks after the game launch, right? Now, is BioWare going to launch a raid? I think they're going to have to launch something on that scale, because everything that I see here, I mean, I am making a lot of comparisons to Destiny, but understand the system that they're going for is very similar to Destiny's. Bigger in scale in some areas for sure, but you could definitely make comparisons between both of these games. I just don't believe that this game could launch without in-game content being on the same level as what we've seen from raids in Destiny. With it being a PvE focused game, no PvP, it's got to have something beyond what we've seen and what we've known. I felt that way even when they were showing us stuff. I felt like we were just dabbling into what they're really holding for in-game content. Now, I know I'm being super optimistic about it, but I gotta be, because if they launch this game and it being a PvE focused game and they don't have something like raids present, at least within a few weeks of the game launching, that's not going to be good. You need some sort of activity out there that is motivating the entire player base to reach, achieve, and dominate. Now, moving on. Let's talk about the monetization thing, because that has come out as well. Somebody posted some screenshots. Is there going to be monetization in the game? Yes, that has been confirmed. You'll see items that you can buy, and you can either buy it with in-game currency, which is just gold, or you can buy it with those purple shards. Now, I brought this up when we were at EA, and what I was told was that all items are purely cosmetic. It's just to change your javelin's looks, and that's it. And I know people don't like microtransactions, but what really piqued my interest after this was that I was told that DLC for Anthem will be free due to these microtransactions being present in the game. Now, I don't know if BioWare or EA has publicly come out and said that yet. That was just what I was told, which to me sounds like a pretty fair trade-off. Everything that was in the store is direct purchase. You're not actually like buying these different loot boxes over and over again. And if that results in us having free future updates, I'm not against it. I really wish Bungie would take that approach, considering we still have Eververse and paid DLC in the game currently. So guys, that is our Anthem video for the week. Just wanted to get the rundown on the endgame and what we're looking at in terms of content, as well as the microtransactions talk that was discussed earlier this week. In terms of gear, I might get a video together to like showcase some of the different masterwork weapons, but considering that I only had one afternoon to really play with all of these, I think I'm going to wait till after launch. I just don't feel as comfortable yet. I really need to get a true understanding of the sandbox more before I start delivering reviews and such. Well, fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching, and as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.